have a talk about mental health issues, and in particular, like anxiety and depression. Now, this is being slated as some minor, oh, go and get on with it type thing. And it's infuriating, and it must be demoralizing for people who are suffering with depression and anxiety. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, if I turn the clock back, probably like in my 20s, I was somebody, because I felt very strong-minded and driven, I probably felt the same, like you have to push yourself, you have to overcome these things, you can't give in to it. Obviously, maybe that was a little bit of arrogance because it didn't affect me personally, but that's the thing, isn't it? Unless you've been through it, you're not going to understand it. It wasn't until I was really in my 50s that I started getting health problems, basically through the menopause, which made me anxious and took away my ability to think clearly. And then when I lost my brother in very traumatic circumstances and I was there, I got PTSD and anxiety. And I can tell you, it is debilitating. Yes, there are ways through it, but someone telling you to get your act together, to like, go on, get out there, you just can't. I'm going to give you an example. So this was after my brother had died, and I was meeting a friend who was actually visiting, had visited a different part of Spain, but was coming over to where I was living. And they'd said to me, they hadn't got my message because I didn't want to meet at the cafe where my brother had died, because it was in this beautiful square, but I couldn't go there. And I had to, as I got closer to the square, I couldn't move. I literally froze. I felt sick. I was nearly in tears, and I was fumbling with my phone, thinking at least then people won't realise, I'm some basket case, but I physically couldn't move. And I had to send a message. I've just got the message saying, I'm at this cafe. And I was like, I physically can't. So I sent a rather terse message to say, no, I'm going to this one, join me, like when you're ready. And I managed to get onto the square, but I had to walk around the edge and not look to where the event had happened. And I managed to get to this little cafe, sit at the table, and then gradually the sort of shaking feeling subsided. And, I did it, and I explained to my friend what had happened. He had no idea. And, and it was fine. It took a long time for me to be able to get up to face that fear, to go into that square, right? So what I'm trying to say is that these things are not minor. Obviously, I had PTSD, deep trauma, but at the anxiety as well, like, where you're getting sort of palpitations and you're panicking, you can freeze, you can feel like you're going to pass out. And, I don't think that we're actually... I think we're targeting the wrong people here. Yes, we want people to be healthy. Absolutely, we want people to be healthy. But just telling people to get over it, that's not helpful. If we're going to be doing this, like trying to get people back into work, nothing wrong with that, but give them the mental health support first. Because unless somebody gets the help they need and is listened to, and can learn the techniques to be able to overcome this, like these real panic attacks or feeling sick, trembly, shaking, PTSD, flashbacks, and literally freezing. You can't get somebody to do that. You're just judging them unfairly, right? So if there's the mental health support in the first place, then people can be helped. Yes, they can go back to work. And I'm pretty sure most people would want to. Targeting people who are, already in a very vulnerable state is actually quite sickening, I think. But tell me what you think. Have you had anxiety and depression and you found it debilitating? Having listened to this, has it made you a bit clearer about really the effects it can have on people? Let me know in the comments.